Hello and welcome to the second experiment of Computer Programming Laboratory. In this lab session, we will talk about two most powerful techniques of the computer programming. The first one is decision control structures and the second one is loop control structures. In this lab session, we will demonstrate these two techniques with some examples, and also some further exercise problems are already given in the lab sheet. Before diving into the detail, let me make my expectations clear. Before starting this video, I expect you to know the following things. First of all, how to write a basic program. You have already written the code of Hello World, so if you understood that code, that is fine. If not, go back to the previous video or go back to the video of the theory class and make your concepts clear. I want you to know what is header file, I want you to know what is main function, I want you to know about the basic headers we use in a computer program, in a C program, and also don't forget to use the semicolon. Now, in the previous video, you have already done these things. In this experiment, we will talk about mainly decision control. That means we will talk about if else, and if else if, and also loop control. That means for loop and while loop. I already expect you to know the basics of these things from the theory class. If you are lagging behind, I would recommend you to go back to the theory videos and make your concepts clear. For the sake of clarity, I am giving some detail of these two structures before starting my examples. Let's start with decision control structures. When we write our programs, we often face a similar problem. That is, we have to perform something if some condition is true. Let's say, I will go to school if the weather is sunny. Then, the weather being sunny is the condition. If this condition is true, only then I will go to school. If not, then we may do something else, we may play Call of Duty or something else. Okay, so this is what we are calling decision control. If some condition is true, perform this. If that condition is not true, maybe perform that. Okay, how to write this? There are several ways to write this type of structures, but I am going to follow a same generic structure for every decision control statement. That is, if there is only one condition and we have to perform one task based on that condition, then the structure will be something like this. If condition, this condition has to be true, then a curly braces, then one tab or indentation. Here we will write what we want to do. Do this. Maybe we will do two things, then do that. This is the structure. If condition being true, do this, and maybe do that, and maybe do something else. So, the prerequisite of the code to execute these two lines is this condition being true. For C program, 0 means false and any other number means true. 1 can be true, 5 can be true, 7 can be true. In fact, -2 can be true, even 2.8, this can be true. Okay, so the structure is very simple. If first bracket, in the bracket the condition we want to be true, that condition, then curly braces, inside of curly braces one tab, then do this, tab, do that, and of course don't miss the semicolons here, and of course don't put semicolons here. So this is a simple decision control structure with only one if. There may be some other cases. If the weather is sunny, I will go to school. If the weather is not sunny, I will stay in my bed. So what will we do in this case? The first step is similar. If, then the weather is equal sunny, then curly braces, go to school, else stay in bed. This is our structure of writing this code. Let me give an example of it. Let's say x is a variable. If x is 0, we will set y2, let's say 5. If x is not 0, we will set y2, let's say 7. How will we write this? Follow this structure. If the condition we want to be true, we want x to be 0, we will use equal. Understand the difference. If we put simply 1 equal, it will make x equal to 0. And if we write if x is equal to 0, then this actually means if 0, and if 0 means if false. Okay, these are two different things. So if x equal 0, then following our structure we have to put our curly braces here. Our execution command is y is equal to 5. We will put the semicolon here, and then else we don't have to put the condition here anymore because there are only two conditions. If x can be 0 and x can be non-zero. So if x is non-zero, then else we will put our curly braces and then in the middle. So that's the structure. In some cases, we will have multiple conditions. Let's say when x is 0, y is 5. When x is 1, y is 7. But when x is not 0 or 1, y is 10. How do we add this? Same structure. If the condition, again don't forget to put equal. Don't put a semicolon here. Don't. Then curly braces, our command. As we have another condition here, we just cannot put an else. We have to put else if 1, semicolon, y is equal to 7, semicolon, else. Now we can put else, because if x is not 0 and if x is not 1, we can say that else y is equal to 10. So that's our decision control structure. We can use any of this depending on our scenario. Then let's move to loop control. Okay, so what is loop control? When we write computer programs, sometimes we need to execute the same command for multiple number of times. Let's say you are asked to write a program to add all the numbers from 1 to 100. 1 plus 2 plus plus 100. So if you try to evaluate this sum using your calculator, or even by writing this, that x is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus, oh my god, it's 100, it will take a lot of time, and time is not a factor. It will take a lot of physical effort to write all this down. So there may be some other ways to do this or do the similar things. That is what we call loop control. In the case of loop control structures, we use either for loop or while loop, or maybe do while loop, but we are not discussing do while in the experiment. Maybe do while is explained in the theory class. We will be confined in for loop and while loop in this session. So let's talk about for loop first and then while loop. Let's say I want to evaluate the sum of first 100 numbers starting from 1 and ending to 100. Okay, so how will we do that? We will write a for loop. This will start as this, for. Then we have to choose one loop controlling variable. Loop controlling variable. Loop controlling variable. Normally we use I as loop controlling variable. In some cases we have nested loops. That means we have one for loop inside of another for loop. In that case, the outer for loop usually uses I as the loop controlling variable, and the nested loop uses J. If we have another nested loop, that may use K. These are just conventions. You can use anything. You can use your name or anything. Okay, so let's say I will start from 1. So I have to declare this variable I. You can declare it out of the loop as this int I, or you can declare it here. As I have declared it outside, no need to declare it here anymore. So I will start from 1. Okay. We will evaluate the sum of first 100 numbers. So we will go up to 100. So I will be less than or equal to 100. You should remember this sign. This means less equal. And after doing one step of calculation, we will increase I by 1. We can write this increment statement in two ways. I equal to I plus 1, or we can write it as I plus plus. Same thing. Okay. In the same manner as if we are putting all these things in one first bracket and we are dividing these three commands using semicolons. Then our curly brace. Now what will we do? We will calculate the sum of first 100 numbers. So let's declare a variable called sum and set it to 0. So in the first step we will do this. Sum is equal to sum plus I. So previously sum was 0 and initially I is 1. So the new sum variable will be 1. In the next step, sum is 1. Now I is increased. I plus plus means I is increased by 1. So I is now 2. So the sum will be 3. In the next step, sum will be 3. I will be again 3 because previously it was 2. Now it has increased to 3. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, and it goes on and on until I is increased to 101. That means in some stage I will be 100. So let's say the sum was S at that point, 100, and we will get total sum. After that I will be increased to 101. But the condition says that the loop will continue up to I equal to 100. If I is 101, the loop will not be continued anymore. So our command here will be sum is equal to sum plus I. Don't forget the semicolon. So this can be written in another way, that is sum plus equal to I. I am not going into the detail. I expect this to be taught in the theory class, so I am not going into the detail, but you can write this statement or this statement, either one of them. Okay. So that is how for loop works. While loop is exactly the same thing. The only difference is, or maybe there are two differences. They are, let me put that down. Let me erase this one, and let me erase this one, and let me also erase the 4. Okay. So in the case of while loop, there are only one condition or one statement or one expression in the first bracket. Other two expressions are erased. Here was the expression for loop which initialized I. In this case, for while loop, we will initialize I out of the loop. So int I is equal to 1. Same thing. Previously for loop, we initialized it here. But in the case of while loop, we must initialize it before starting the while loop. So int I is equal to 1. I less than equal to 100, that is same as before. There was another command in the case of for loop here that said I plus plus. So in the case of while loop, this I plus plus or increment I by 1, this statement will go just after the main expression of the loop. That is, we will increase or change sum by this statement, sum plus I. After that, we will increase I by 1, or you can say I plus plus. So the same thing for while loop, we will initialize the loop controlling variable before the loop, and we will do the increment inside the loop. These are only two differences of for loop and while loop. So our primary explanation or discussion is done. From the next set of videos, we will go over some examples of decision control and loop control. Thank you.